Evening, everybody. So this evening, I just wanted to talk about what happens when the hard work actually pays off as a coach. So had a brilliant Saturday, other than the England match, obviously, but we won't talk about that. We had a second team game or a club game, if you like, and it was a proper second team game. There was some really new people to rugby. There was obviously some people like myself a little bit longer in the tooth, but it was all, kind of fire and brimstone. It was a local derby as well for us, and it was really great. And the good thing is I got to take a bit of a step back. I try and let the other coaches take a lead when it's not a first team game. Try and give those boys a bit of an opportunity of coaching actually and getting an experience of kind of what a game day is like. So I went down, kind of set up the pitch, did the waters, hung the shirts up, all that sort of stuff. But actually I wasn't very hands-on when we were there on Saturday, kind of getting involved. So the coach that was there on Saturday, how can I say this? A little bit more of a laissez-faire approach to coaching, a little bit more hands-off rather than hands-on, but it worked. And the great news is obviously the club picked up its first win of the new year. Really, really good win as well. I think it was over 50 points scored. I think we conceded 17. So absolutely brilliant day. Obviously, we had a bit of a celebration. I'm sure the boys did. And then we watched the sort of Six Nations afterwards, which probably brought a lot of people down in terms of mood. But I think it was really interesting to kind of see, a lot of these guys, kind of the second team guys, probably haven't played a lot of the first team. But what was really great was seeing those boys put into practice kind of the game plan that we have as a club. And I thought it was absolutely brilliant to kind of see the sort of attacking setup shape, the defensive shape that we've been working on. And for me, just to step back and kind of watch, it was really, really great to kind of see. Because obviously as a coach, you kind of get fixated on the result, you get fixated on the game, how's it going, are you going to make substitutes, all that sort of stuff. But actually as a spectator on Saturday, for me, it was brilliant just to kind of sit back and watch the fellas enjoy themselves, just play rugby. They played heads-up rugby. Interestingly, the opposition had a lot of sort of rugby league players who didn't really know kind of what they were doing. I think the overheard conversation was, "Oh, well, I'm wearing 8, but I don't really know what that means." So, it was a true second team fixture, and it was really enjoyable to kind of be part of. But actually being able to stand on the sidelines and not worry about sort of coaching and all those type of things, I could actually kind of watch the game and actually see the game plan unfold and really get a sense of how we were trying to play. And there was some brilliant sort of shape that was worked, but a lot of what the boys were doing was heads up rugby, having a look, right, okay, you're in front of me, let's try and see if I can kind of take you on. And that for me is the best part of rugby. You can have all the game plans, you can have all the structure in the world, but actually getting the ball in your hands, looking up and thinking, right, okay, well, I know what I'm going to do here. Is massively important. And we were in a bit of a strange position now where we haven't got enough players to be consistently rolling out a second team. I think I've said before, we're in a really strange opposition where we've got like 45 to 50 people registered with the club, which isn't quite enough to kind of have regular teams kind of being churned out week in, week out. So we've got a core of around about sort of 25 to 30 players that are going to be available, but not all the time. So it means that every week we have sort of 22, 25 people. And obviously in our league, we can only take 20 for sort of the first team fixtures. So my question for this evening, and something I'd love to kind of get your guys' thoughts on, is how do you pick a team from those people that are available? Now, growing up and playing, my expectation was, well, if you don't train, you can't play. That has always been the way that I view things. That has always been how I've made my decisions as a coach. Some of the guys on our coaching team have a different response. They want the best players on that first 15 or that 20, irrespective if they've trained or not. And I'm not saying there's a right way or a wrong way. Obviously, I know we don't get paid for this. we don't get paid for this. We don't get paid for this training. We don't get paid for playing. We actually pay for the privilege of playing this sport. So I understand that other life kind of gets in the way. If you've got kids or you're working late and all that sort of stuff, that might affect your ability to be able to get to training that week or for a couple of weeks in a row. So do you punish that person for not being there, or do you include them, and how does that affect the rest of the people that have turned up training that aren't in that team? So it's a really hard, difficult balance at the moment, and obviously at this moment in time we are only playing one team a week because we haven't got enough people to have a second team fixture consistently at the moment. So as a coach, how do you approach that selection process? Is it just based on, well, you need to train for me to pick you? Like I would kind of do that if it was just me on my own making these decisions. Or is it a sit down basis of, well, these are the best players, whether they've trained or not, these are the best players and we need to pick them to be able to move forward. So which one are you? Which sort of strategic way do you look at sort of planning and picking your teams? I think it'd be really interesting to kind of know. So drop me a message, pop something in the comments. It'd be great to kind of see what you guys think.